McLean family wasn't always in the position it's in now. Even just 200 years ago, they were counts not barons, and their county was vast and extensive, stretching from the neighboring Tesron Viscounty to the Sylvan and Perina Viscounties, as well as the Bifrost Plains. They are revered as the rulers and lords of the southwestern area of the Grandia Kingdom. But as always, good times bring bad leaders, and the same thing happened to them. Until the current lord, Patrick McLean, the useless work of the last 3 generations of ancestors caused their title to be demoted, and with the size of their territory greatly decreased. The vast storage of grain that was once called the McLean Plains was given to the most powerful vassal, and the useful land was divided amongst different vassals. The place they ended up in, as if chased out, was the rough and dry land near the southern mountains. There were no suitable regional products, and the copper ore mines that were common in the mountain territories didn't exist in the McLean territory. And in this state, even if they won the regional war, they would need to ask for help from Kairos continuously. To end this vicious cycle, they need lots of money, much more than the 3 million Logan has. And there is someone who can provide that much money for him. To find him, Logan has come to the Grandia Kingdom's greatest trading city, Kale. This city reminds Logan how remote the McLean family is. There are lots of merchants here, selling all kinds of things in the kingdom. And based on Logan's memory, the person he is looking for spent his youth in this city. This person is called Gold Bug Philip Claude. The strongest nation on the continent is the Ares Empire. The Ares Empire is a centralist nation based on the merit system. As long as someone is talented, regardless of gender or age, they can succeed. It is a nation where you can enjoy power and riches. That right is even given to foreigners who aren't citizens of the empire. A perfect example of that is the Grandia Kingdom's Philip Claude. He is one of the wealthiest merchants who moves the empire and is the continent's greatest war merchant, called the Trader of the Grandia Kingdom. However, in reality, even while being called that, he would support those from his home country and use his own money and power to create the miracle of Grandia's sovereign dominion. And that gold bug is this person in front of you. That guy who is looking like someone sucked out his soul looks like someone scammed him. Logan heard that his first business failed because he was scammed, but it looks more horrible than he imagined. He was just thinking if he should just die. Then Logan came near him and asked him if he is Philip Claude. Philip stood up and said that he is and asked Logan who he is. Logan said that he wants to talk for a moment with him. Logan took 1 step towards him and Philip took 1 step back. Philip was scared because at that moment he feels a strong emotion in Logan's eyes. An emotion that businessman Philip has seen countless times, and that is greed. And because of Logan's timing and how he's wearing armor that is looking old, Logan was looking like a mercenary gangster. Logan didn't even get the chance to introduce himself. But Philip starts shouting that it's not the repayment date yet. Logan was confused about what he is talking about, and he tells him that he is not here for debt repayment. But Philip didn't listen and starts shouting like a crazy dog. He used his full power in shouting. He was just hoping that he goes away. Then Logan told him to stop his bullshit. He asked him to calm down, and he told him that he was here because he wants to invest money in him. Philip was very confused. He asked him again if he meant that he wants to invest in him. Logan confirms that what he heard is true, and he wants to invest in him. Philip looks at Logan and thought that he's crazy to want to invest in someone who's completely failed. But he can't resist this. So he asked Logan about how much he is planning on investing. Logan asked him how much he needs and told him that he will support him enough for him to repay his debts and make a comeback. After hearing this, Philip almost becomes a puppy from a crazy dog. Then he looked at Logan's armor and saw the crest of the McLean family. After seeing it, his mood took a 180-degree turn, and he got very angry. Logan was confused about what suddenly happened. Philip told Logan that if he wants to scam him, then he should have prepared properly, just like those other bastards that scammed him. He told Logan that this crest belongs to the Southwest McLean barony, and McLean family is a beggar family that needs to live off the coattails of their in-laws. But he wants to invest when the family can't even repay their own debts. That's what I was thinking about. Why he come outside with armor that is like a walking signboard? Maybe it might have its own benefits, maybe? Then Philip told Logan that if he gets caught impersonating a noble, then he'll be executed. Then Philip became emotional and started crying and said that he chose the wrong person to scam because he is really broke. Logan was thinking how to appease him while Philip was crying, saying that he doesn't even have the money to eat or die. Then Logan got an idea to prove that he is not a scammer. Then he asked Philip to look at him, and Logan showed him his force. Philip was very surprised after seeing the force, and more surprised at the fact that he awakened force at such a young age. And a genius like that is trying to scam him. He doesn't think that there's no idiot who would try to ruin his bright future like that. So he decided to believe that he is a genuine investor. Then he apologized to Logan and said that a lot had happened to him, so he was a bit sensitive. Then he asked him what business he has with him. Logan took a breath and told him that he wants to hire him forever, and paying off his debt is just a freebie. Philip said that it's too much to hire him forever, and the McLean family doesn't have the money for that. Then Logan dropped his bag on the ground and asked him about how much his debt is. Philip said that it's $250,000. Logan told him that he will pay his debt of $250,000 and assume his price is around that much too, but he gives him $50,000 more. Then Logan opened his bag and almost blinded Philip with the light of money. He showed him gold and told him that he will give him a total of 550,000 gold coins, all in pure cash. It looks like Philip is blinded by the money and starts seeing Logan as an angel, or that's what he thought for a moment. Because after that, Logan took him to sign a contract with his blood. This contract is not a simple contract, this is a magical contract. With this, if the subordinate tries to purposely harm the boss, they will feel excruciating pain, as if their soul is being torn apart. And if the so-called subordinate that is basically a slave is not happy with that, then they can awaken the force themselves and become at least a high-ranked knight, which is practically impossible for Philip. Or pay a 4-circle mage or hire several hundred times that amount of money and ask them to lift the curse. So basically, Philip is screwed over because Logan wrote an expensive contract just to make him his slave. 1 page is the price of 30 slaves. Logan said that they can't really trust each other when it's just their first time meeting. Until now, he said everything formally, but after the contract, he switched to direct informal. Then Logan said that once they build trust with each other, he can get rid of the contract. Then he extends his hands towards Philip and says that they will both do their best. Philip has no choice because there are no detailed periods or conditions in the contract. So he had no choice but to trust Logan from now on. After the handshake, he asked Logan about what he must do from now on. Logan told him to buy monster meat. Philip was thinking, but he ended up saying out loud that he is a real psycho and pulled his hand back. Well, that makes sense because monster blood and meat contain poison, so burning them is common sense at this time. But in a few years, the situation will drastically change. This is because it becomes known that you can make a monster blood neutralizer with common ingredients, and some areas lacking in food will begin consuming monsters. And in the winter, causes of disabilities being treated. Upon consumption of the monster, Kalok began to appear. Even those who had their private parts injured and become physically sterile saw the effects, and a year after the Royal Mage Tower validates this, Kalok becomes impossible to find throughout the continent. One species disappears simply from the research results that they were good for virility. With this alone, he can make a lot more than the 3 million golds. Well, if something like this appears in the world, all men and women will go crazy. But seeing this weird excitement of Logan, Philip was thinking if he should just run away before going crazy with a psycho like Logan. Well, I think it's too late for that. He should have thought that before selling himself.